What's up, everybody? Saturday Strategy with Coach Kels, and thank you for coming back to my channel and joining me today. And liking and subscribing and sharing and doing all of the things. I appreciate it, and I'll keep on putting out content. So today, what I wanted to talk about is the questions that we ask ourselves when we are attempting to make a change in our lives, or deciding to make a change, or deciding to do something different in our lives, right? And so it could be a big change or a small change. It could be something that we've tried before and maybe we didn't have the greatest success at. So in those cases, what now do you ask yourself? Right? So if you tried something before and you didn't have maybe the greatest success, what now do you ask yourself? Do you ask yourself questions like, why wasn't I successful? What did I do wrong? Why couldn't I, do this? Why couldn't I do that? Because those questions don't serve you, right? So okay, so here's the thing. Our mind likes comfortable, our mind likes familiarity. So for instance, let's do it for instance real quick. So if it was, say it was weight loss, or losing weight, working out, whatever. Say it was weight loss that you wanted to, it was time for a change. I got to change. I got to do this because in the past, why couldn't I do it? Why didn't I lose weight? What's wrong with me? What, these questions that don't serve you, because your mind is going to keep going back to those things and how you weren't successful. Your mind is going to keep drawing on that. So how is knowing that you weren't successful in this thing now helping you, right? So the questions that we need to ask ourselves in making, changes in our lives and deciding to do things are questions that are going to propel us forward to that thing, right? So if it's weight loss, if you want to lose weight, the question can't be, why didn't I lose weight? Because there is no action in why didn't I lose weight, right? There's action in what can I do to stay on track this week, right? So say you got this big weight loss goal you want to do, but the goal isn't going to happen right now. The goal is going to take some time to get to. So what can you do today? What can I do today that's going to get me to that big goal over there, right? What can I do this week that's going to get me closer next week, to get me closer next week, to get me closer next week to the goal, right? So those are the kinds of questions that we need to ask ourselves in moving forward with any change. So not just weight loss, right? So anything that you want to do differently, that you want to have, just a little bit of success in, you have to ask yourselves the right questions. You got to pimp your questions out, right? So don't keep asking yourself what you did wrong the last time and why you weren't successful the last time, because there is no action in that, right? Your mind is going to keep going back to why you didn't do it. It's going to show you all the reasons why. Is that going to keep you stuck? It could. But do you want to stay stuck, or do you want to move on to the thing that you're trying to get to? So if you're trying to move on to the thing that you're trying to, this great goal, this great thing, this great change, you gotta ask yourself the right questions, right? You have to change the way you're thinking about how you maybe weren't so successful the last time. So what? Okay, new day, new change, new questions. Stop asking the old questions that are getting you nowhere, that are keeping you where you are. Pimp out your questions to how can I, what can I, questions. How can I do this question? How can I make this question? How can I moving forward question, instead of always looking back question, because that's not serving anybody. It's not going to get you to the change that you want to get to. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I hope I wasn't all over the place with that. So basically I'm saying pimp out your question to help you get to your goal instead of relying on the past. You can, of course, rely on past successes, and in that, you can still pimp out your question, right? So for me, okay, for instance, in the whole weight loss thing and whole, body, everything, I wanted to lose weight, right? And I stopped asking the question, why can't I do it? Why can't I do it? Instead, I started thinking about, what can I put in front of me? What goal can I set for myself that is going to help me stay on track, right? And so I was in Japan at the time, in Okinawa, and I wanted to stay on track. And I'm like, I don't know how to stay on track. So I had to put a goal in front of me. And that goal was to do a bodybuilding competition. I had never done a bodybuilding competition before. But it was like, okay, I got to put this goal in front of me so that I can stay on track. What is going to help me stay on track? And I did that. I found the answers to the questions that would help me stay on track. Well, number one, I had some good girlfriends that were with me. I mean, they didn't compete with me, but they kept me accountable, right? They would work out with me. They would, and they would always be encouraging, and they would support me the whole way. So that was one thing. I found some accountability. And then the other things were, I just had to keep saying, what is going to keep me moving forward? Okay, week by week, increase the weights that I lift, or increase the cardio that I do, or what have you, right? So I had to start asking questions that would move me forward to the goal, instead of staying stuck in, I tried to lose weight before and I couldn't do it, I tried to blah blah blah, right? So we have to ask ourselves the right questions and keep it moving. So I think does that help? I hope. You got to pimp out your question, right? You have to pimp out your question. If you're trying to do something you've never done before, maybe you didn't have the greatest success the first time you tried it, ask yourself a different question. Not why you failed, but how now can I succeed? What can I do this week to get closer to the goal? And write it down. Write it down. That helps. And I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I'm just saying these are the things that helped me. I wrote it down. It was a plan, and you asked the questions and pimped out the plan. So hopefully this helps somebody. That's my goal. My goal now is to help other people. I've been stuck for a long time, so people get stuck, and we just got to get pulled out of our stuckness. So hopefully this helps. And I will see you all next Saturday. Have a beautiful and blessed day. And I'm praying for you guys in Texas, my family and friends and military friends and family over there. So y'all be blessed and stay safe. Love to all. See you next Saturday. Bye. P.S. I got to add something to it. P.S. Enjoy the process, right? So once you pimp out your plan, pimp out your questions, and get going, enjoy the process, because we tend to think that once we get over there to the goal, that I'm going to be happy when I get over there. Well, if you're not happy now, you're not going to be happy there, because you're still the same person, right? But if you enjoy the process, it's not a get to the end of the goal one and done. You're happy the whole time, all the way through. So enjoy the process, pimp your questions, keep moving forward, and again, I'll see you next.